Hey guys, it's Jen and I have a new process video for you today. I'm going to be scrapbooking these two photos of my naughty kitten who likes to rip up toilet paper. These photos aren't the best. He was in our basement and there's just brown carpet and brown everything, which I hate. But I pulled out some products that's going to help me make it a little bit brighter. I am making this to use this new stamp set from the Ink Road. This is a super funny, cute stamp set where you can make your own cats. It has 3 already done for you at the bottom, but then it has 3 empty ones and you can fill in the different faces. So I'm going to play around with that a little bit. And I've just pulled a bunch of supplies. I kind of pulled my color scheme from this pattern paper, which has blue and yellow and teal and orange from Ellie's Studio Sunny Days collection. But I'm also I pulled some scraps from my stash. I'm going to use this for my background, which is from Pink Fresh Dream On, which is a new collection. And they have these puffy stickers match it perfectly as well. So you can see kind of the colors that I'm going for here. And I've also pulled out some stickers from 7 Paper. These are all cat phrases, so I'm going to use those. I have this from 7 Paper too, which came out with this, but I'm thinking since I'm using this stamp set, which these kind of go well together, that I am not going to use this because I want the focus to be on the stamps. If they support it and if they look nice with it, I might use it. And I do have some wood veneer pieces that are little cats too. I think I still have some anyway, so I might pull those. But I also pulled this because I thought Wild and Free might be a funny title, and these are from the new Dear Lizzie Lovely collection. I pulled some crepe paper, Cool Kid, and then just some other things. These are from Pink Fresh Studio because it had that blue in it that I like. And then these, which are Project Life from their High Five collection. They're just stickers, chipboard stickers. So those are the things I'm going to be playing with. I'm going to put you on fast forward and get started. I have this piece of scratch paper that I'm going to be using to stamp some cats on. And so I'm going to start with that and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to start by playing around with these little cat faces, and I decided that I wanted kind of a watercolor look behind the cat face, and so I'm just using my Kuretake watercolors, Gansai Tombi watercolors here, and I'm going to make kind of a yellow color, a light brown color, and an orange color to start with. And I'm just doing these imperfect circles. I'm going to stamp on top of them, and I don't want it to be perfect. I want it to be kind of like you colored in the face of the cat, but not in a perfect way at all. And you'll see what I mean when I cut these out. I'm going to punch them out, or I'm going to use a die actually to cut them out in circles. I'm using my heat tool, and I just did this on a scrap of white cardstock, and I'm using some black StazOn ink to stamp the cat faces. And you can see that I just did, I'm making it so that most of the cat's face is filled in, but there's still some white spots. That's kind of the look I was going for. And now I'm going to stamp some faces on there. And I'm just picking the different elements that would look kind of like the cat was either mad or didn't care, or I'm talking about how my cat is being naughty, and so I want to make sure that I kind of get that same vibe. And so I'm like kind of doing a haughty look on this yellow one, and I did like a what did I do kind of face on the orange one, and on this brown one I'm doing just like a I don't care kind of look. So some of the eyes, those eyes were just open, and I thought they looked a little creepy, so I just colored some dots inside of them. I think they could look okay open as well, but I just like the look better when I colored in a couple of dots for the eyes. So I'm using some little circle dies from Big Picture Classes, and I'm just using my little tiny diamond press machine that I have on my desk to cut those out. And that's just a mini die cut machine. I didn't feel like there was enough orange on the orange cat, and so I just put a little bit more watercolor on there, and it ends up looking weird. I'll redo it later, and actually I'm going to create some more cats with some different colors. I cut one of them out with my 1 1/4 inch circle punch, but it wasn't quite big enough. I think the ones that I used were either 1 1/2 or 1 3/4 or something like that. So now that I have those, it magically was the exact same size as the circles on my background cardstock. And so what I'm going to do is kind of line up the circles that I cut out with the circles on the background of the cardstock, which is awesome. And so I'm going to arrange my photos. I have two 3x4s, and one is vertical and one's horizontal. And so I'm going to arrange them. When I have two photos that are different orientations, I like to place them next to each other, and then the shorter photo, the one that's horizontal, it creates like a little place for you to put your title. Because I'm layering this up on some different colors of pattern paper, I decided to help the photos stand out since they're so brown that I would mat them with just a thin white border of cardstock. And here I'm using those 3 patterned papers to create kind of just like a messy mat from my scraps. I love using my scraps in scrapbooking, and shameless plug, I have a new class called Zap Your Scraps. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback from it. So if you're interested in learning lots of ways to use up your scraps, I will leave a link in the video description. And here I am checking to see if any of those puffy stickers that I kind of got my color scheme from will work on this layout. And I don't end up using very many of those, but I think it turns out nicely. So I'm getting this puffy sticker set from the Cool Kid collection from Crate Paper, and using some wax paper so I don't have to commit. And there was a little phrase that said eat, sleep, play, and I'm going to use the eat, sleep portion of that. And then I'm going to use these are black puffy stickers from Felicity Jane, and I'm going to spell out the word destroy, because that's basically what he does: eat, sleep, and destroy the toilet paper. So we had the kitten in the basement in the bathroom when he was first brought to our house, and that's where he kind of kept getting into the toilet paper, a little naughty kitten. So I am also putting the word destroy on wax paper. I just like to do that so I can move it around. And I like the way that the word just kind of fits right on top of that that horizontal 3x4 photo. So now I'm playing with these and thinking that the cats seem kind of drab. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm playing with some more puffy stickers first, but what I'm going to do is color some more cats here in just a second. And I'm looking through my Pink Fresh Studio die cuts to see if there's any that might match here. I pulled them out originally because I thought they matched the colors of those puffy stickers really well, that are also from Pink Fresh, from a different collection though. But I decided that none of them really work, and I'm okay with that. I pulled this it's a little die cut or a sticker that says cutest on it, and it's blue. It matches the blue in the sleep because it's from the same collection. It has a silver foil to it. And I'm using these little word strips that are from 7 paper that are all about cats, and they have a copper foil to them. And so I end up taking that silver foil sticker off, but I'm going to leave it almost to the end. So now I'm going to straighten up the top of that wood grain scrap, and I'm going to start gluing down my layers. And I just want to, when you create layers, you want to make it so that all of the edges, the corners, none of them line up, because that makes it more interesting. And I also wanted to make it so that I could put the photos so that they would nestle onto that yellow piece of paper, which is good. And I'm going to put the word destroy down right above the photo. I will end up having to scooch it over just a little bit on to the right so it overlaps the other photo, because these letters are pretty large, but it ends up working out, and I like the way that it ends up looking. So I'm just going to kind of play around with those a bit. And then I'll put the eat, sleep above it. The little heart puffy sticker is going to stay also. And I like the way that the words eat, sleep, they kind of nestle together. You can see the E kind of rests above the L, and the A rests a little bit above the E. I think when things kind of fit in together like that, it's really nice. And they were like that on the sticker sheet, so that's where I got the idea to do that. So I'm putting some foam on this sticker that doesn't end up making it to the layout, but it will stay almost to the end. And I thought it would be fun to put the word cutest with an arrow pointing to the cat. So I'm really trying to line these little die cut cats that I stamped up with the circles. And so I'm just trying to figure out which circles will work best for me to put them on. And this is where I decide that I need some different colors of cats. I want some blue, and so I'm going to watercolor some blue on some scratch paper, and I'm going to make more of a red orange because I ended up going with that reddish orange eat, and so I'm going to make a bit of a different color. So that's what I'm doing here, just again using a scrap paper. putting down some watercolor. I will heat that up or dry it with my heat gun, and then I will stamp those again. And I'm just going to stamp, the red cat will be the same as the orange cat is now, and the blue cat will be the brown cat. So just stamping that down, and StazOn is a good ink to use for that. And I'm sorry I'm a little bit off camera here, but I'm just stamping it exactly the same as I did the previous one. And I will color in some little eyeballs on the blue one. And I think that the blue looks nice. I know cats aren't blue. My original idea was to stamp them in colors that actual cats are. But then I decided it doesn't matter. I just wanted the look of it, and it's just cute. And these aren't realistic looking cats anyway, so it doesn't matter if they look realistic, right? I do stamp another yellow one just because I had yellow on the, I had painted some yellow on there, but I don't end up using it. And I went ahead, and what I'm doing now is just cutting those out again on my little diamond press machine there. And I'm switching out the blue. And here I thought maybe I would use more than 3. I would use 5 or something. So I am just rearranging them. But I decided that the colors, I didn't need 5. I just needed 3. And so I will take off the brown one and the orange one and replace them with the red and the blue. And I'm liking that more. And I decide to pop them up. So I'm just getting some fun foam. I just got the fun foam from Walmart, and it's like $5 for a pack of 60, and it's adhesive backed on one side, and it's really inexpensive. And I like using that instead of foam squares, because I like to put a lot of foam. I go overboard on the foam a little bit. And so it's just more cost effective. And I decided that they needed a little something to pop. And so I'm just outlining them with my black Muji pen. My daughter just put her hand in to point to how cute she thought these were. And she's excited to use this stamp set too. It's seriously a super fun stamp set. I can't wait to use it again. I don't know what I'll use it for again, but maybe on another cat layout. I don't know, but it's really cute and really fun to play with. Maybe a card. Anyway, so I just did 2 simple outlines on each cat circle, and you can see that red one is a little off center, the die cut, and I didn't care. I was okay with it not being completely centered. So I'm adding some more of these little word stickers and just some kind of funny little phrases here. And one says find adventure, and one says LOL cats, and one says you have cat to be kitten me right now. Right, meow. They're just little funny phrases. So placed those, and then I decided I found on the sticker sheet that's from the Cool Kid collection, there were these little stars. And so I'm going to put 3 around each little cat. And there's red and yellow and black and blue. So I'll use all of those different colors and just kind of arrange them. And I'm just trying to get a good balance of color. It's not perfect, but I think it turns out pretty good. And I like the stars. And so even though I have a heart next to Eat, Sleep, Destroy, I don't usually use hearts and stars, but here I'm okay with it. And I actually end up adding, I think, 2 more hearts to this as well. So just the stars, they're so small, they wouldn't come off the sticker sheet very well. And so I had to peel them off and then add some adhesive underneath. And so that's what I'm kind of doing right now, is just re-sticking them down. So I'm just looking at my sticker sheet to see if there's anything else on there that I might want to include. And I thought it would be fun to include a little tab at the top of the layers. And so there was a little noted sticker, and I just cut it off and put it up there. And then there was a date sticker that I liked the blue in it and thought it would be nice to bring the blue down to the bottom. And so I stamped the date on that. And I just did the month and year. I don't think you always need to have the exact date. And so now, again, I'm just looking through to see if there's anything else that I might want to include. And I found this little puffy sticker that says, "Hey, buddy." And I thought that would be fun to bring some of that red orange down to the bottom. So now I have 3 little spots with that bright pop. And I like that. And so now I'm just, again, looking to see if there's any other little things that I want to add, if there's any more of the cat stickers that I want to add, and I put one above the title. And this is where I decide that I do not like that little, I didn't like the little cutest arrow, but I wanted to add in some blue. So I just grab another scrap, I cut it in half and then place some at the top and some at the bottom. And now I have just cut up some, I'm cutting up some typewritten journaling strips, and I'm going to place that to the left of the photo and below that kind of red orange cat. And that's where my journaling will go. I will end up cutting the journaling even into smaller little bits. And I just gonna place it all down that side. I wanted it to, I couldn't decide if I really wanted it there because there are little word strips next to it. And so I was like, there's word strips next to it and I'm doing journaling strips. I don't know if it's too many strips. So I thought about putting it at the top, but I decided to put it, I just am going with my instinct and putting it below that red orange cat instead. And I'm cutting up the strips a little smaller because I want them to extend clear from the bottom of the cat to the bottom of the yellow. And I like that more. And then I'm just going to use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive to place it underneath that red cat. And I put that in a fine line bottle. Those bottles come empty and then you just add whatever you want to them. And I like the Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, although I've heard that they have changed it to Scotch Quick Dry tacky glue or something, but it's the same. I don't know. I still have some in that bottle, so I'm good to go. But yeah, just gluing those strips down. And anytime I do journaling strips, I try to make it so that none of the ends line up. It just makes it more interesting looking. And if the ends line up on any of them, it makes it look like either all the ends should line up or none of them should. I think you need to choose one or the other. So I get those put down and then I decide to go back to my puffy sticker sheet and add some more hearts. So I grab the other two yellow hearts and put one at the top and one at the bottom. And now I'm just going to draw a double outline on the very edge of the paper because I wanted to include that somewhere else besides just around the cats, and that is going to finish this off. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Here are some still photos. Don't forget to check out my other video where I show you all of the different stamp sets from the Ink Road, and I have a giveaway as well, so be sure to head over to my channel to check that out. This will also be over on my blog later today, so you can head over there for more photos and information. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.